Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a closer look at motorcycles that dealers simply can't sell. Number 7. Harley-Davidson Sportster S. The Harley-Davidson Sportster S has turned into one of the most obvious examples of a motorcycle dealers cannot move in 2026. All across the United States, many units have been sitting on showroom floors for more than a year, with some stretching beyond 15 months. Inventory aging at this level clearly shows demand is much lower than expected. Pricing is the primary issue. The Sportster S comes with a price tag close to $16,000 before tax, freight, and dealer fees. In most states, the final out-the-door price climbs past $18,000, which immediately slows buyer interest. Used listings only make the situation worse, with low-mileage bikes already appearing around $12,000. Destroying confidence in the value of a new unit. Ownership costs add even more pressure. Insurance rates are higher than many buyers anticipate, and tire replacements come sooner than average. Fuel stops are frequent, and for riders planning more than short city use, that quickly becomes a deal breaker. When buyers sit down and calculate monthly expenses, the numbers often fail to justify the purchase. Dealers have responded with incentives. Discounts between $1,000 and $2,000 are now common, along with low interest, financing, and extended warranty bundles. Even with these offers, many Sportster S units remain unsold, quietly continuing to age in dealer inventory. In 2026, the numbers are clear. When a motorcycle sits for over a year despite discounts, the market has already rejected. Number 6. BMW R18. The BMW R18 has quietly become one of the slowest-moving motorcycles in American dealerships heading into 2026. Many units have been sitting for more than a year, with some dealers reporting stock that hasn't moved since early 2024. Floor plan pressure is building, and that alone tells a serious story. The core issue comes down to price versus demand. The BMW R18 starts around $18,000, and real-world totals often climb well beyond $20,000. That immediately limits the buyer pool. When used R18 listings with under 3,000 miles appear near $13,000, new bike value drops sharply and shoppers notice. Weight and usability also hurt sales. Buyers walk in attracted by the badge, then walk out after realizing how heavy and demanding the bike feels at low speeds. Parking, traffic, and city use become concerns, especially for older buyers who were once the primary target. Dealers have tried aggressive tactics. Discounts of around $3,000 are now common, and some stores bundle service plans, extended warranties, or zero-down financing just to move aging inventory. Even with these efforts, many R18 units remain unsold, tying up space in dealer cash. Number 5. Triumph Trident 660. The Triumph Trident 660 is another motorcycle dealers are struggling to sell in 2026, with many units sitting unsold for over a year across the United States. Dealer listings show bikes arriving, staying, and aging out without serious interest, which is unusual for a middleweight model designed to attract newer riders. The issue begins with pricing expectations. The Trident 660 carries a price around $8,000 before tax and fees, and real-world totals often creep close to $10,000. At that point, buyers begin comparing monthly payments instead of brand appeal. Value perception becomes another problem. At this price, buyers expect strong equipment and long-term comfort, but many walk away feeling the numbers don't justify the spend. Dealers have tried pushing inventory with incentives. Cash discounts of $500 to $1,000 are now common, along with low APR offers. Even with these deals, many Trident 660 units remain parked for months, quietly aging in dealer systems and forcing stores to rethink future orders. The entry-level and middleweight segment has become extremely price-sensitive. Buyers want clear savings, strong resale, and low running costs, and hesitation sets in quickly when any of those numbers feel off. In 2026, the Triumph Trident 660 shows how quickly a motorcycle can stall when pricing and buyer expectations fail to align. Number 4. Indian FTR. The Indian FTR has become another motorcycle dealers cannot clear in 2026. With many units sitting unsold for more than a year across the United States. Dealer aging reports show FTR models lingering well past 12 months, something rarely seen in a category that should move quickly. Pricing plays a major role. The Indian FTR carries a price close to $13,000 before tax and dealer charges, and many buyers see final totals pushing $15,000. At that level, shoppers slow down and start comparing alternatives. Used listings make matters worse, with low-mileage FTR units already showing near $9,000, cutting directly into new bike demand. Ownership math further weakens interest. Insurance quotes often surprise buyers by coming in higher than expected for this type of motorcycle. Tire wear is another concern, with replacements adding noticeable yearly costs. When buyers calculate monthly expenses, including financing, insurance, and maintenance, hesitation sets in quickly. Dealers have responded with incentives. Discounts between $1,000 and $2,000 are now common, along with extended warranty offers. Even with these efforts, many FTR units remain parked, tying up floor space and dealer capital. In 2026, the Indian FTR proves that strong branding alone cannot move motorcycles when the numbers no longer convince buyers. Number 3. Suzuki Boulevard M109R. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R is another motorcycle dealers cannot move in 2026, with many units sitting on showroom floors for more than a year across the United States. Dealer inventory data shows some bikes aging well past 12 months, which is a serious problem for a model that has been around long enough to have a clear buyer profile. Pricing is a major roadblock. The Boulevard M109R carries a price close to $15,000 before tax and dealer fees. In most states, the final number climbs towards $17,000. Buyers see that total and hesitate, especially when used listings with low miles appear near $10,000. That gap makes new units a tough sell right from the start. Running costs also work against it. Insurance quotes often come back higher than expected, and rear tire replacement adds noticeable expense over time. Fuel consumption is another factor buyers calculate carefully, and once monthly costs are laid out, enthusiasm fades fast. In a market where buyers track every dollar, these numbers matter. The heavy cruiser market has shifted. Buyers are more cautious, resale value matters more, and long-term ownership costs now influence decisions more than image alone. In 2026, the Suzuki Boulevard M109R stands as proof that when pricing and ownership numbers don't line up, even long-standing nameplates can sit for a year or more. Number 2. Harley-Davidson Pan America. The Harley-Davidson Pan America has become another motorcycle dealers are struggling to sell in 2026, with many units sitting unsold for over a year across the United States. Dealer aging reports show Pan America inventory stacking up, especially outside peak riding seasons, signaling demand has cooled sharply. Price is the first wall buyers hit. The Pan America carries a price close to $18,000 before tax and dealer fees, and many buyers see totals pushing past $20,000. That immediately narrows interest. Used listings worsen the issue, with low-mileage bikes already appearing near $13,000, creating a steep value gap new units can't escape. Ownership costs also scare buyers away. Insurance quotes often come back higher than expected for this category, and maintenance pricing isn't cheap. When buyers break down monthly payments with insurance and service costs included, the math stops working for many households. Buyer expectations have shifted. Shoppers want clear reliability history, stable resale, and predictable ownership costs. Early depreciation and mixed ownership feedback cause hesitation before committing real money. In 2026, the Harley-Davidson Pan America shows how high pricing and uncertain value can leave even headline models sitting untouched for over a year. Number 1. Indian Scout Bobber. The Indian Scout Bobber is another motorcycle stuck in dealer inventory heading into 2026, but the reason here is more subtle, which is exactly why it keeps sitting. Across the US, many Scout Bobber units have crossed the 1-year mark unsold, even in high-traffic dealerships that usually move cruisers quickly. The issue begins with market positioning. The Scout Bobber carries a price around $13,000 before tax and fees, and most buyers end up looking at totals closer to $15,000. That places it in an awkward space. It's no longer an entry-level buy, yet it still demands compromises buyers at this price no longer accept. Resale numbers are doing real damage. Lightly used Scout Bobbers with very low miles are already appearing near $9,000 in many states. When buyers see that drop within a short ownership window, confidence disappears. Financing a new one suddenly feels risky. Practical ownership also plays a role. Insurance quotes come back higher than expected for a midsize cruiser, and the riding setup limits longer use. Buyers often like it in photos, sit on it at the dealership, run the numbers, and then walk away without starting paperwork. In 2026, the Indian Scout Bobber isn't failing on appeal. It's failing because the price and resale math no longer work in its favor. And with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming content.